Hi everyone, Joe here with you, and it's been an amazing week. I have bought no records since we last spoke. We had a car repair catastrophe this week, which negated the likelihood of any records being purchased. So I thought we would look further at some records I purchased before I began making videos, including more out of that penny bag of records that my wife brought home. So let's start there. Last week, if you saw my last video, you remember my wife brought home a bag of 45s that worked out to be about a penny each. So I just pulled 8 at random last time, and we had some good stuff. So here's what I pulled out this week. I just grabbed 8 again. So we'll start with the least interesting to most interesting, I think. So we have 3 records here right off the bat that are what my friend Bobby would call Pizza Hut jukebox records. He's also a vinyl collector and just kind of that middle of the road pop from the 70s and 80s that you would hear at Pizza Hut on the jukebox if you grew up in that time period. So yeah, I got 3 of these right off the bat here. Here's American Pie by Don McLean, Part 1 and Part 2, a song so long that you had to pay twice to hear it on the jukebox if you wanted to. And that's a fine song, but I'm burned out on it. And if I want to hear it, I've got the CD with it on it, so not a real big score there. But here's one that's a sentimental favorite. If you grew up in the 80s, of course, you had to be at home on Wednesdays to watch The Greatest American Hero. There's the theme by Joey Scarberry. I had this in my original uh, collection years ago, and it's a guilty pleasure. It's not a good song. It's not a good record. And the flip side is terrible. A song called A Little Bit of Us, which not great. I did spin this yesterday for the first time since I got this new copy. And it's like, yeah, I still kind of like the song, but nothing special. And the last one of those, another one I used to have on 45 years ago, which is kind of funny because um, I don't know why I have it again, but it was just accident. Cliff Richard was a big pop star in the UK, but never really hit big over here until he had a massive hit, Devil Woman, uh, right around 77, I think it was. I didn't look up the date. 76, 77, somewhere in there, I think. And it's a song I do like. And funnily enough, I had this 45 years ago, and I played the A side. And then one day I said, let's turn it over and see what's on the B side here. And it's a song called "Love On, Shine On." And on my old copy, the instant I put on side two, it was so scratchy that I was like, oh, I'd take the needle off. I don't want to listen to that. And so I put this copy on and I said, let's hear the flip side. And the same thing happened. Side A is nice and clean and plays really well, and side B is all scratchy and nasty. So I still don't really know what the flip side sounds like. So those were kind of the least interesting. What's this in my hat? A little piece of fuzz or something. Yeah, sorry about that. Probably been distracting you the whole video. So these are okay records here. First up, we have the Guess Who, "Clap for the Wolfman," which is a song I've heard of, but not a song I actually had heard. I love the Guess Who. I have their greatest hits album. This is not on it. And that's a kind of a fun little song. And the flip side is a song called "Road Food," and as it says here, taken from the album "Road Food." So I don't know that album, but that's a fun little record to have. And I was excited because I love the Universal monster movie. So "Clap for the Wolfman," I thought, oh, maybe some kind of a classic monster movie reference there. But no, it apparently is apparently a tribute to Wolfman Jack, which is a little less interesting. And then, as a massive Beatle collector, of course I have to be happy that I have Paul McCartney's solo record, Wings, "Silly Love Songs." I don't like this song. I've never liked this song. But this song is a lot better than the flip side, which is called "Cook of the House." Whoops. About to drop it on the floor here. "Cook of the House," which really has to be the worst B-side by a former member of the Beatles that I've yet heard. Absolutely meritless song. Um, it's bad. You can probably find it on YouTube if you want to hear "Cook of the House" by Wings. But Linda takes the lead vocal on that, and nothing against her, but that's a terrible song. And one more solo Beatles record here. This is Ringo's single. This is called "The No No Song." And the funny story with this, I vaguely recognized the title, and then I put the song on. Just what is this song? How does it go? And then okay, I kind of recognize that. And then I would listen to it, and it's like, wow, that's a terrible song, and yet I want to hear it again. So after I played it, I had to play it again, and I think I ended up playing it 5 or 6 times in a row, and now I really like it. The No No song. This is a great little song. If you don't know it, you can probably find that on YouTube as well. But a little story about how everywhere Ringo goes, people are trying to offer him drugs or alcohol or various illicit substances, and he has to keep saying, "No, no, I don't want that. I don't care for that. Thank you. I don't do that anymore." Um, After the first listen, I just enjoyed it more and more every time I heard it. So, backed with a song called, wow, that's tiny print. Snookeroo is the flip side on that. So, yeah, I was surprised I liked this as much as I did. Better than that Wings song, which I'm tired of. And then none of those were especially interesting, but again, some treasures in that bag of records. So here is a Jazz 45 by Stan Getz on Verve, the theme from Dr. Kildare, in very, very nice condition. And it's here, the flip side is Stan Getz with Charlie Bird. What's it called? Desafinado, I think is how you say that. That's the flip side here. I really liked this, and the sound quality on this, it just filled the room here when I cranked it up. And I in years past, I kind of would have probably have passed up this because Stan Getz jazz. I don't like that, but in recent years, I have come to really like jazz, so I'm really glad to have that. And likewise, here's another. This one by Stan Kenton, and you don't often kind of see this on 45. This is artistry and rhythm, backed with artistry jumps. Gosh, that's a faded label. But this too was a really great little record when I played it. I didn't know either of these songs before, but they played very well, and wonderful percussion, nice jazz sound, and I liked it a lot. So, again, even if a lot of what's in that bag of penny records aren't anything special, I keep finding neat little things like that happy to have, especially for the price. And then I have a few LPs pulled that I'm going to show you that, again, I did not buy this week. I bought them weeks ago in many cases, but just didn't have the occasion to buy anything new this week. But I want to show you first something I got for Father's Day back in June, a few months ago. And, my wife and kids are always, they say I'm so picky. They never know what to get me for a gift. So they said, well, let's just go down to the record store and why don't you pick out something nice you'd like to have for Father's Day. So they all went with me down there, and I found this. And this was a Record Day exclusive a few years ago. But again, I just got it, and it was very, very cheap. The blues musician, well, not just blues, he's done all kinds of music. Steve Earle, who is best known for the song Copperhead Road, is probably where most people would know him for. He just released a new album called Terraplane Blues, which is a collection of blues standards, heavily based on the music of Robert Johnson, who is one of my favorites. And Terraplane Blues is a very famous Robert Johnson song, but the song Terraplane Blues is not on the Steve Earle album Terraplane Blues, but it is released on this Record Day exclusive. This is from a couple of years ago. And it's made to look, as you see, like a vintage 78, but it's actually a 45. I'll take it out and show you. And just like the Robert Johnson original, it is just him and a guitar, solo acoustic piece there. And, that's very well and cool because I love Terraplane Blues, but really, I think why I bought this was because on the flip side, look at that, the Robert Johnson version of Terraplane Blues. It's a dusty, I need to clean it as you see, but it plays beautifully. There's no scratching at all. So I don't know if somebody picked this up on Record Store Day and just decided they didn't like it and traded it back in, but it's mine now, and I love it. Both sides are very, very good. And let me get it back in the sleeve. There we go. So those were kind of my 45s that I wanted to show you, and I do just have a few quick LPs here. You see, my stereo is no longer back behind me as it used to be. It's over on the other side of the room now. I can't really tilt it and show you, but I'll show you in the future. I've got it set up a way that's a lot nicer for me. So, nothing really fancy or special here, but just real quick, some things I picked up. Here is New Age jazz, New Age piano, George Winston, Winter into Spring. Um, my cousin turned me on to George Winston many years ago with the album Autumn. And later on, I picked up his tribute to Vince Guaraldi, the guy who wrote all the music for the Peanuts cartoons. He did a Charlie Brown Christmas and all those, and he had an album. What was it called? I forgot the name of it now. But anyway, it had all the Peanuts music on it, and so I found this. This was, I think, 50 cents at my thrift store. So I like those other two records so much. How can I go wrong with another George Winston? So that was the first thing. Second thing here, you'll see a trend kind of for jazz this week. I've really kind of come around to liking jazz, and I haven't heard this yet, and I haven't heard Chuck Mangione, but I hear the name a lot, and you see the price tag here, 49 cents. So got to try it. Got to try it for 49 cents. See if I like it. Chase the Clouds Away is the cover there. And moving on here, next up, Tommy and Jimmy Dorsey, also 49 cents. Great swing musicians. They had a lot of hits. If you see them come across, if you ever browse through 78s, you'll see a lot of Tommy Dorsey, a lot of Jimmy Dorsey, big band swing. And, I like a lot of that music. And so why not? Last Moments of Greatness is the name of the record for 49 cents. And let's see, a couple more. Yeah, Benny Goodman in Brussels. This is volume 2, it says. And I have played this actually twice since I picked it up a couple of weeks ago. I really like it. And it's a great live recording. And yet it doesn't sound like a live recording because you only hear the audience, applauding kind of in between the songs. So it really just sounds like a great collection of jazz and swing with the occasional bouts of applause breaking out. But a really good record, and I don't know, a quarter or something I paid for that. Really nice shape for the price, and I like it a lot. I'll play that regularly. And then to switch it up for the last one here, the best of Peter, Paul, and Mary. Why not for $1? Really good condition, just a tiny bit of ring wear here on the cover, but the LP itself looks practically unplayed. And I don't know if I'm going to like this because I find Peter, Paul, and Mary honestly a little syrupy for my taste, but I like some of their songs. But they do a lot of Dylan. I'd rather hear Dylan sing his songs than Peter, Paul, and Mary. But, the kid in me likes Puff the Magic Dragon, and what else is on here? Early Morning Rain, which is a Gordon Lightfoot song. Leaving on a Jet Plane, which is great. A lot of Dylan on here. Don't Think Twice, It's Alright, Blowing in the Wind. There's one called 500 Miles that's on here that I think is probably not the Proclaimers song, but that would be pretty cool if it was. So, that's all I'm going to show you today. Hopefully I'll be able to show some new records soon. If not, I have plenty to show that I haven't shown yet on YouTube. So, hope you're all well. Thanks for watching.